Hey everybody, Sanavi here, long time no see, and today I wanted to go over my Cyclone build from the 3.25 Settlers League. In anticipation of the new league coming out in 2 weeks, I wanted to create a private league and test leveling a fresh character in a SSF-like setting, just to see how smooth the progression is through the campaign and generally as a league starter using the leveling trees from my POB. And so far everything has been pretty good. I've been doing this for a couple days now, and I've been able to complete my atlas. I got my void stones. I even was testing different farming trees for crafting gear, target farming blight for the Stampede unique boots, as well as a destructive play bossing tree for getting those maps so I could get the fragments to get my last 2 void stones. So yeah, overall, as a league starter in a restricted environment with no access to trade and stuff, it's been very, very good. I have a ton of VODs on my channel from live streams over the last couple of days, like 4-hour sessions, 6-hour sessions, just showing the complete progression of me building this character from, you know, the very first moment when I created it all the way to right now. So you don't have to obviously go look at all of that footage. I'm just saying I streamed everything. It's on the channel. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do a map real quick so you can see what the build looks like. And yeah, obviously, you know, it's Cyclone, so we're going to be doing the toxic sewer thing. It's just really nice because, you know, it covers pretty much the whole area that mobs are in. And I'm at a point right now where if I was to continue playing in this league, we would just be farming toxic sewer to try to get, you know, blight maps, do blight ravage content, and essentially, hopefully, get those Stampede boots. My biggest takeaway from doing the SSF stuff is that the Stampede boots are probably going to take a while to target farm. There's not a real lot of information on it online, and my understanding is they can only drop from the pump itself, not from the chests. So when I was doing my testing, I ran like 6 blight ravaged maps, and I even ran indigo oils on them, and I didn't even see a single indigo oils spawn, you know, like additional blight bosses, and I didn't even see like a single blight unique, let alone Stampede. So just keep in mind, like, this is fully doable in SSF as I'm showing you right now, but if you want to go Cyclone of Tumult and eventually do, like, you know, that version of the build, you're going to be grinding quite a bit. So yeah, that's the map right there, and I've just been farming boss maps and things like that. So I'll go over the build real quick with you guys and show you what I've been able to do in this private league. So this is my current gear. I was able to craft like a 700 Fizz DPS staff, and this is perfectly fine for doing T16s, regular bosses, different mapping strategies. Obviously, we would need to craft something a lot better if I wanted to get into T17s or Uber Pinnacles. I did get a Carnage Heart to drop. I've been using this, as well as a Roomies. The Roomies is really nice because, as you know, my build is a block build, so you can see right now that I have, you know, 65% attack block and 35% spell block, but when I use the Roomies, we're at 65 and 63%, so we're basically capped on block. If we were playing trade, eventually we would get Forbidden Flame and Flesh with the More Than skill from Gladiator, and that would put us up to almost 90% attack and spell block, which is very tanky and very comfy. As far as the rest of our gear goes, it's basically life and resistances and armor on all of our gear. Pretty simple standard stuff for a league starter, you know, as much movement speed as we can get on our boots. And then obviously we're using chaos resistance rings. I have 1 channeling skills mana cost here. That enchant, or that craft I should say, with this mana cluster and this mana cluster makes our Cyclone cost 1 life, so it's mana free. And then as far as Eldritch Implicits, we're using melee hits have a chance to fortify on the chest. This is how we get our fortify right now. Eventually, in an SSF-like setting, I would start target farming Delirium to get cluster jewels, and then I would try to make an Overlord jewel. It has a really low weight, but that's what you would try to farm. yeah, so that's pretty much all of my gear right now. We're using a crit flask because we're a crit build, and then a chaos resist flask to help with chaos resistance. That's pretty much all my gear. As far as the tree goes, it's pretty simple. It's all points on the tree. We don't have cluster jewels, as I mentioned. I did craft 2 jewels, one that has life and some damage, like attack speed. The other one's like life and crit multi, and a little bit of resistance. And that's pretty much it. I'll kind of hover here a little bit so you can see the full tree. And then for our Ascendancy, you know, we're Slayer, we're going for the impact. The progression is Bane of Legends into Headsman. Then when you swap to Cyclone while you're leveling, or right when you get to maps, you pick up Impact. And then your final Ascendancy is Brutal Fervor. So that is pretty much the tree. So overall thoughts, the build plays really well. It's a great league starter. You don't need any access to trade. You can do everything yourself. I will probably be posting a video in the next week when the patch notes drop. As long as anything, as long as nothing breaks the build, I will do a better deep dive on the POB, as well as my actual character. I'll showcase from Settlers and what content it's able to do in the late end game. But yeah, I just wanted to brush off the character, see how it plays, get a feel for it again. I think overall, I am very happy with SSF, and my intention is I will probably play SSF on this character in 2 weeks. If this character gets bricked by the patch notes in the new expansion, I will come up with a different character to play. But I think SSF is appealing to me right now, and I will probably not be playing trade. I'll probably be doing SSF, and this is a test case that shows that you can do everything yourself, which is, you know, gives you an extra level of accomplishment. However, there's nothing wrong with playing on trade. It'll make everything go a lot faster, and you'll be able to push even higher content than I've been able to do in the last 5 days or so, without having to grind. You know, basically that's SSF, right? You're just doing lots of grind. So yeah, stay tuned in the next week. I'll drop a video if the build is still good. If not, I will be finding something else to play. But I had a lot of fun playing this in 3.25, and I plan to be playing it again in 3.26. So with that, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you all later.